The film drops us into a harsh, new world. Cassie Sullivan, a teenage girl surviving alone, enters a grocery store with a rifle and searches the shelves. A weak voice calls for help. She finds an injured man and they both raise their guns. He lowers his first, but one hand stays hidden. When he brings it out, Cassie shoots. Sure, he is pulling a weapon, only to see a crucifix. Fear makes innocence look deadly. Before the chaos, Cassie's life is normal. High school, friends, and a crush on Ben Parrish. At a party, her friend teases her and Cassie bumps into Ben outside. At home, she checks in with her dad, Oliver, and says goodnight to her little brother, Sam. Then the news hits. A massive, unidentified object in the sky. Cassie's family sees it too, a giant alien ship hanging over the earth. For days it stays silent and panic grows. The first wave arrives fast. Power dies, phones go dark, cars stall. At school, students run outside to a crash, see vehicles piled up and watch a plane fall out of the sky and crash nearby. An electromagnetic pulse has erased modern life. When Oliver picks Cassie up, she looks at Ben, not knowing it is the last time. The second wave follows. Cassie and Sam are getting water when the ground shakes, trees fall, and a massive wall of water rises behind them. Cassie drags Sam up into a tree, just in time. Global tsunamis wipe out coasts and islands, swallowing entire populations. The third wave is disease, a deadly modified bird flu. Cassie goes to her school, now an emergency medical center, and moves toward a friend, but her mother stops her. Quarantine, masks Cassie, and sends her away. Soon Cassie's mother dies. They bury her, and whatever was left of their old life is gone. Cassie, Sam, and Oliver pack essentials and reach a refugee camp. Oliver stays on edge. He gives Cassie a gun, teaches her, tells her to hide it, and says they are not safe anywhere. Then tanks and school buses roll in, led by Colonel Vosh, promising rescue and transport to a secure military base. Soldiers separate adults from children, adults to a briefing, kids onto buses. Vosh insists they only have room to move children first. Oliver tells Cassie to stay with Sam and protect him, promising he will follow. Cassie and Sam board, but Sam left his teddy bear and refuses to go without it. Cassie jumps off to grab it, telling him to stay put. She returns with the toy, and the buses are already pulling away. She runs after them, but they are gone. Inside, Vosh announces the fourth wave. Aliens hiding inside human beings, blending in, so anyone could be one of them. Vosh claims the military can identify them in children, not adults, which is why the kids were taken separately. Parents demand answers and get almost none. Outside, Cassie spots her father. Oliver sees her too and silently warns her to stay back and hidden. A frightened man challenges the soldiers. Tension snaps and gunfire erupts. Cassie runs into the woods. Later, the soldiers come out alone. No civilians with them. Cassie understands the new reality. The danger is not only the beings in the sky, it is also the people claiming they are here to save you. Cassie returns to the hall with Sam's teddy bear in her hand, hoping she is only too late for the buses. Inside, the truth hits fast. Bodies everywhere, and Oliver is one of them. Any remaining illusion dies. The people who came to protect them were never rescuers. Cassie grabs a rifle and disappears into the forest, carrying grief and a promise to get Sam back. The children are taken deeper into the military machine. At the base, they are processed like inventory, assigned numbers, stripped of names. Ben is called Wurst. He is separated from the others and marched inside, learning that choice is no longer part of his life. What looks like intake is interrogation. A doctor checks him while Sergeant Resnick studies him, asks what he has lost, and hears his family is gone. She weaponizes his pain, tells him this is his chance to hit back, and injects a tracker into his neck. Ben asks how they can fight an enemy they barely understand. Resnick shows him a boy strapped to equipment, a visor that makes the child look infected, an unseen alien presence wearing a human body from the inside. Resnick says there is no saving the host. Once it takes hold, the person is already lost, then puts the trigger in Ben's hand. He hesitates, but under pressure he follows through. That is the point. Resnick wants a broken boundary, and the moment he does it, she welcomes him into the war. Outside, Cassie survives minute to minute, alone in the woods, trusting no one, clinging to one idea. Sam is alive, and she has to reach him. Exhausted, she reaches the ruined store again and sleeps clutching the teddy bear like it is purpose. The next day, she hits a highway clogged with abandoned cars. The bodies are too fresh. An alien drone finds her and fires, tearing into her thigh. Cassie crawls under a truck, hurt and trapped. Survival says stay invisible, but Sam's name flips the switch. She drags herself back out and fires anyway, and it costs her everything. She blacks out. Back at the base, conditioning escalates. Colonel Vosh announces the final push, the fifth wave. If it hits, he says, humanity will not survive. He frames the children as the last defense, and training turns relentless. Shooting, formations, clearing rooms, instant commands, hesitation treated as weakness. When Vosh asks if they are ready to do what must be done, almost everyone says yes, but not Ben, and not Sam. Cassie wakes in a strange bed, her wound wrapped, an IV in her arm. Someone approaches, and she plays unconscious. Next morning, she yanks the needle out and tries to stand. Find her gun, leave, but her leg nearly gives out. Footsteps. She slips back into bed. The man who enters is calm and unfooled. Evan Walker. Cassie demands answers. Evan says he found her wounded and brought her to his farmhouse. Asked about her gun, he claims he never saw one. He notices she has pulled her stitches and closes the wound again, then drops what scares her most. She has been there a full week. Cassie asks how far they are from the base and tells him about Sam. Evan admits he could not save his own family, and helping her is the only way he can still feel human. At the base, Ben's unit gets a new element. Ringer, sharp, confrontational, testing Ben and provoking the squad. A boy makes a crude joke. She drops him hard. Teacup looks impressed. Back at the farmhouse, Cassie searches Evan's room, finds a hidden compartment, and discovers her gun. He lied. She takes it and limps away. A trap snaps. Evan is on her in seconds, yanking her down, taking the gun, ordering silence. A ship passes overhead and a hunter scans the woods. Cassie understands. Evan was trying to keep them from being found. Safe inside, Evan admits he hid the gun because he did not trust her either, and says the drones work with hunters to locate survivors. Cassie says again, she is going to the base for Sam. Evan warns Sam may already be gone. Cassie refuses to accept it without proof. Evan stops arguing and says he will take her himself. He cannot promise what they will find, but he can help her get there. Ben is starting to see cracks in the story the base keeps feeding them, and Ringer pushes him further. She is not impressed by the military. Where the other kids still want to believe they were saved, Ringer sees it bluntly. Nobody rescued them. They were collected and turned into tools. She says she was surviving long before the invasion, which is why she adjusts faster than everyone else. Ben argues, but weakly, because believing the base is helping is easier to live with. Ringer keeps forcing him toward the uglier truth. That tension turns useful in training. Ben challenges her, and it becomes a respect test. He wants her to train the squad with weapons, and she makes him earn it. She handles him easily, proving she is tougher than he expected. But when she drops her guard, Ben catches her off balance and puts her down too. It does not make them equal, but it changes the dynamic. She stops seeing him as just another obedient kid. On the road, Cassie and Evan are moving toward the base, and the closer they get, the more urgent it feels. Cassie asks him to teach her how he took control of her weapons so fast. He brushes it off, like she is trying to act hard, but Cassie shuts that down. This is not pretending. She gave Sam her word, and if she finds him and has to fight, she cannot afford to freeze. That honesty gets through. Evan starts teaching her practical moves. Redirect a gun hand, strip a weapon, control someone long enough to stay alive. She is not suddenly an action hero, but she is more prepared, which is all she wants. Back at the base, Ringer trains the squad properly, and the difference is immediate. No honor speeches, no last stand, just basics. Grip, aim, timing, control. In a strange way, her harsh honesty makes her a better teacher than the officers. Then Ben is called away. Vosh shows him what looks like growing chaos across cities, calls it the start of the fifth wave, and hands him a field-ready version of the visor tech. This time it is meant for combat. Vosh frames it like a promotion. Ben's squad will be among the first units to carry the gear into the field. Meanwhile, Cassie and Evan's journey gets more personal. One morning, Cassie wakes alone, follows water sounds, and finds Evan at the river, quiet, awkward, almost normal. Later, he catches her looking through old photos, recognizes Ben from her journal, embarrassing her, but then sees Sam and the talk softens. Those pictures are proof of what she is still fighting for. That night at the base, Sam cannot sleep. Ben stays with him, and Sam sings the tune Cassie used to sing. Ben joins in to comfort him. Most kids find it annoying, but Ringer stays quiet. She sees what the others ignore. Sam is still just a little boy trapped in a war designed by monsters. Cassie's injury still is not fully healed, and Evan helps her clean and rewrap it. Her fear shifts into trust. In that fragile pause, she kisses him. Less romance than two damaged people grabbing one moment of warmth. Morning hardens everything again. Ben's squad heads out on its first mission. Ringer asks where Sam is. Ben lies, says he is sick, because he secretly kept Sam behind so he would not be dragged into the operation. He leaves his locket with him like a promise. In the zone, the rules repeat. Use the visor, follow the color, eliminate the enemy, signal extraction. Clean in a briefing room, ugly in a shattered city with no adults. The visor marks targets, then bullets start flying. Panic follows. They scramble for cover, hide in an alley, then an abandoned bus. The bus fails, a kid is hit, they are pinned down. Ringer rigs the bus as a distraction, buys seconds, and they sprint to an abandoned mall as the explosion wipes out their shelter. Inside the mall, the story collapses. Ringer says it. If the enemy destroyed civilization, why hide from kids with rifles? Why does this feel staged? She tests the system, removes her tracker, and the visor instantly marks her hostile. The kids panic. Ben pulls out his own tracker too, and the visor flags him the same way. That is the proof. The people they were sent after were not aliens. The gear was lying. The trackers were part of the trick. The visor was part of the trick. They were never being trained to stop the fifth wave. They were the fifth wave. The invaders found the smarter method. Traumatize kids, isolate them, fill them with fear, and aim them at the remaining humans. Make victims finish the job. Ben tells the others to cut out their trackers. Remove them and they can think. Keep them and they stay controlled. But Ben cannot just run. Sam is still at the base, so he chooses the hardest move. Return to the place that lied, looking like he barely survived. He asks Ringer to shoot him, not to kill him, just enough to sell the story. Now he knows what he is walking into, and this time he knows exactly who the enemy is. By now everyone is moving toward the same place for different reasons. Cassie to get Sam back, Ben after learning the truth, and Evan about to reveal what he really is. The first explosion is between Cassie and Evan. Armed hunters track them down, but they do not treat Evan like prey. They treat him like one of them who stepped out of line, even calling him out for being outside his assigned sector before opening fire. Cassie wakes to gunfire and Evan telling her to run. She reaches for the gun, trying to help, but then she sees it in how Evan fights. Too strong, too fast, too violent. When it ends, there is no hiding it. Cassie points a gun at him. Evan stops lying. He says he is a sleeper agent placed on Earth long before the ships arrived, built to live as human until the alien side woke up. Once the invasion began, he was supposed to be part of the system hunting humanity, but Cassie changed that. He claims his kind does not understand love like humans do, and meeting her broke the hold of his mission. He admits he tracked her earlier, and when another hunter targeted her, he turned on his own side to keep her alive. To Cassie, it is terrifying and insulting. She has lost too much to accept a love story from someone who lied to her. She demands the ugliest answer. Did he harm his own family? Evan says no. They died from the sickness, not by him. Belief almost does not matter then. What matters is the warning he gives. The base is part of the invasion, and if she goes in armed and obvious, they will drop her before she gets near Sam. Cassie tells him to stay away but keeps walking. Trust is irrelevant. Sam is not. Inside the base, Ben is done being fooled. He knows the visors and trackers were the trick, and he is brought face to face with Colonel Vosh, the man behind the false war. Ben understands the children were never trained to save humanity. They were trained to finish it. Vosh does not panic. He justifies it like logic beyond debate. Conquest is conquest. The same thing humans have done to others. Take what you want, clear out who is there, call it necessity, not a defense, a cold summary. Before it can fully play out, the base starts collapsing because Cassie has already moved. She gets in by playing weak, looking like an injured survivor, so soldiers bring her inside. It is smart. It makes the enemy lower its guard. Processed through the same system, she ends up with Resnick, the woman selling kids a fake war. Resnick starts the old script and tries to show what the visor reveals. Cassie does not buy it. She attacks at the first opening. The fight is ugly and close. Cassie wins, strips the tracker, takes Resnick's clothes, and disappears into the base wearing the system's face. Then news hits Vosh. Resnick is gone, guards are down, someone is tearing through the facility. Explosions follow, multiple, throwing everything into panic. Evan did not stay away. He chose a side. Ben uses the chaos. He breaks free, removes his own tracker, and moves. Cassie races through shaking hallways in disguise and nearly collides with him. They react like strangers in a hostile zone, then recognize each other. The old crush feels like another lifetime. No time for emotion. Cassie says she is there for Sam. Ben says Sam is about to be moved out with the other children. If they are late, she loses him again. Two separate stories snap into one mission. Soldiers block them, but Evan appears and clears the path. He admits the bombs are his work. He set the base to come down. His plan is to wait until the transport carrying the children is out, then erase the facility completely. His final break from the side he was made to serve. He gives Cassie the closest thing to an apology, not excuses, just the truth that he chose the human part of himself in the end, and chose it because of her. Then he stays behind. Cassie and Ben reach the transport lines and see the horror. Children loaded in numbers, processed like pieces, prepared to be sent out like Ben once was. The smartest weapon was not ships overhead. It was the system. Fear, lies, and children taught to do the killing. They scan faces fast, splitting the line, and Cassie sees Sam. The reunion is not stretched because it does not need to be. She kept her promise. She gives him back his teddy bear too, completing the thread. Proof she came back. Ben removes his tracker as well, cutting the final tie, and the three run for the escape route. Vosh evacuates but tries to hunt them down in a helicopter, wanting loose ends gone before truth spreads. He runs out of time. The base goes up, and the fake sanctuary, the fake war, the whole machine turning kids into weapons is torn apart in one blast. Ringer and the others return in an army truck. Ben was not the only one who woke up. The surviving squad chooses too. No longer soldiers, just kids who understand what was done to them. Afterward, the pace slows. They regroup, eat, rest, sit in exhausted silence. Not a happy ending. The invasion is still on, but for the first time they are choosing for themselves. Ben asks what comes next. Cassie does not pretend she has a master plan. She only knows there are other kids still trapped in the same nightmare, and somehow they have to bring them back. The film ends on awareness, not victory. They finally understand the real shape of the war and can start fighting the right enemy.